He is the figurehead of the Norse pantheon, the god of wisdom, poetry, death, divination and magic, and today we're going to be taking a bit of a deeper dive into the Allfather himself to see what he is about in Godforge and how I would build him if I bought him. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello everyone, Ragewood here, back with another Godforge video, and we are today looking at Odin. He is the second legendary that we are covering from the pool of 5 that dropped from floor 30 in Alpha Wave 1. What does he do? Who is he? So he is an eternal disruptor of the Order alignment. I've got him at level 60 right now. These are his base stats without any gear or anything on him. So straight away, the thing that jumps out to me is he's got a very high initiative. This is great, because it's going to allow us to get back to our ultimate ability quickly. So what does he do then? Let's look at his abilities. So starting off right away, he's got a 70 accuracy in all battles aura. This is massive, especially as he is a disruptor. His kit is going to likely revolve around needing accuracy. So just giving yourselves a straight 70 is very nice. His basic then, skill 1, attacks one enemy for 200% attack with a 35% chance to place charm on the target for 2 turns. And the awakening bonus grants him an extra turn if the target is defeated. So this is an interesting one. We're scaling off of attack, so you're going to want to build attack into his kit, especially to get this extra turn. But he's also placing charm, so it's protecting himself, so the next attack for the enemy that placed this debuff sort of redirected to the person with the charm. 2 things we want to do here. So you also want to make sure you've got accuracy to land this debuff. Now I would have loved to have seen an accuracy multiplier in here as well, similar to Loki, to encourage you to do both, but you know, it's not the end of the world that it's not. It's just something we need to bear in mind. His core hunting party attacks all enemies for 140% attack 3 times, so it's 420 in total. Don't forget that this feels kind of low, but after the 3 it does add up. Each hit has a 25% chance to place confuse for 1 turn. If the enemy is under a disable, place corrupt on the target for 2 turns, and then additionally if Gary or Freki are on the team, increase their turn meter by 100%. So couple things. As I say, seems low. Would I like it to be a bit more? Yes, but I don't think it's horrendous. Now the fact that each hit has a 25% chance to place confuse means that if you get it on the first one, you're going to place corrupt on the second and or third, which is very nice. And then Gary and Freki. So we know that Gary is in the game. We have seen her leaked ages ago, but Freki we know nothing about, so we have confirmation of it here. And you're boosting their turn meter, which is very nice. I love the thematic here, especially with the animation. We'll see that in a moment. It's just very cool. Cool ability. Would like to see a bit more damage, but it is what it is. His last ability then, Ragnarok. Attacks all enemy for 310% attack. Again, feels kind of low, especially when you look at like Lady Jacques, who's hitting for 500%. You also decrease their divinity by 30%. If an enemy's divinity is fully depleted by this attack, there is a 25% chance to execute them. Cannot defeat bosses this way. You also gain 30 divinity when an ally or an enemy increases or decreases turn meter. So a few things to take in here. So decreasing divinity is very nice. You're stopping them from casting their most impactful abilities in the ultimates, which is great, which is likely why we've got this lesser attack multiplier here. Also, a random chance to execute is kind of cool. You know, if you save this in one wave to a following wave, you know, there is a chance that you're going to get a kill straight away, which is kind of cool. And gaining divinity whenever an ally enemy increases or decreases is fun. So you're going to want to pair this with someone like Isolde. Isolde's got 2 abilities which increase turn meter, so pairs very nicely with this. Also perhaps someone that decreases turn meter. And as I say, Isolde is one that we get for free, so if you get Odin from your level 30 guaranteed pool, straight away you've got a nice matchup there. But arguably the best person to pair Odin with is Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is the speed speed and turn meter king. His core ability increases turn meter by 20% and then places speed up as well. His ultimate does the same, placing some crucial buffs here for Odin: attack up, sharpen and accuracy up, helping him just do everything that he wants to do better, and he will increase the ally with the highest turn meter by 50% when he reaches 100% divinity. So yes, a very good unit to pair with Odin, and I think probably the best one outside of, say, Isolde, who is more accessible. Now, from a decrease standpoint, just whilst we're here, the only person that I have found just as I was scrolling through is Pandora. Pandora's got it on her core ability, if you awaken her, where she will steal 5% turn meter twice. So in our little team, we're going to see how quickly we can get this rolling. Odin's passive then, it says, whenever damage is inflicted on an enemy by their ally, steal 10% of the damaged enemy's turn meter. Now, I do not have him ascended. I only pulled him the day before the server was going to close, so I've not had a chance to put stones in him. But let's say that you've got this unlocked. He's going to steal turn meter when allies attack each other, so you're going to want to place Confuse. This is a massive push for him, so you're going to have the likes of Mordred, who has it on his core ability. It's going to be great. And then Loki. Loki has it on his ultimate. And also Pandora still might be able to do it for you. Her ultimate places a random disable, so there is a chance you could get a Confuse. Also, the nice thing about Loki is he also places Charm, so it is just tying in nicely as well as another way to sort of redirect damage to an ally. So let's take a quick look at Odin's awakenings then. So his awakening 1 is what grants the extra turn on the basic when you defeat someone. Awakening 2 grants him initiative. Awakening 3, this is the one I really wanted to get to. I farmed all last night, but to no avail sadly. But his core ability, each hit, and remember you're hitting 3 times, has a 50% chance to decrease the target's turn meter by 10%. So he's boosting his own ultimate gauge there on this third awakening. His fourth grants him more divinity, and then his final increases the execute chance on his ultimate for 25% to 50%. How often it's going to come in practice, I don't know, but still very nice. So I'm going to gear him up, talk you through my gearing decisions and potential changes, but do bear in mind, like with all of these videos, this is subject to change. This is an alpha. So we have now built our Odin, and I'm going to talk about some of the decisions that I have made. Let's start with the gear. We'll move on to the weapon. So I've gone for 2-piece Avenger for the lifesteal that it brings. I think anyone who's played any game, especially like Raid, lifesteal is very good early on to help you to survive. So yes, 2-piece Avenger is what we've gone here. Then I've also gone for 2-piece Parasite, so we're healing when we're placing debuffs, so just bringing a lot more self-sustain in here. Now, is it necessary is the question. Probably not, but it's what I've done here. If you're struggling to survive, having both is great. If you aren't, perhaps what I would do is drop the Parasite, because we're building him for damage here as well to try and get that proc on the basic attack. So you would probably drop the Parasite and have 2-piece Soul to increase the ultimate damage, so you're more likely to execute people. But so this is what we've got right now. As you can see, I have some Soul legs with HP percentage, mainly because I don't have a decent pair of attack that's going to give me everything, and then some speed boots. Now, why have I gone for HP percent on the legs? Well, it links to the weapon, and I will come back to that in a second. Crit damage gloves, crit rate, attack, initiative, HP. I've got a flat attack chest just to make up for the set, but we got speed, initiative, crit damage there as well. Crit rate on the helmet, crit damage on the shoulders. So the weapon, I've picked Heka here for this one. You gain 10% of your HP as attack. Now, I've chosen it for 2 reasons. Its main stat is accuracy, which is what we need. That is great. But also, this up here is the single biggest attack gain that you can get from any weapon in the game currently, which is why we've also gone for HP percent legs. It's going to give us a bit of survivability, and it's going to be converted into attack anyway, so we're going to increase this up. So that's why I've gone the way I have. Other weapons to consider. World Splitter is just a straight stat gain across the board. If you can get enough accuracy elsewhere, or if you're planning on running Odin as the leader to gain 70, then you don't necessarily need something with an attack main. Could go with something like the World Splitter, gain the attack stat, and then between passive on the weapon and the leadership bonus that Odin provides, you can still get the accuracy very nicely. Mjolnir is another good one to bring, and one that again I did consider. This one's particularly good because it's leveled up. It's going to give him more initial divinity, so you're going to be able to cast your ultimate sooner, and if you can kill people with it, fantastic. I wouldn't go HP main if I was doing that. I'd try and get crit damage or attack percentage. I don't think we're hitting often enough to warrant Thunderbolt. Those are the three that I think are probably best for Odin. Obviously there's going to be a lot more weapons come full launch, so something else may take the cake here. Now imprints wise, I've been using this everywhere, so at the moment I've got a Lady Shock imprint on, which is probably not the best. So what imprints do I like? Well, I like Giant Slayer from the Beowulf, just because it makes him a bit more useful in boss fights. Shadow Prowess is another fantastic one to help protect him and keep him alive, granting him Vanish at the start of each turn and giving him some attack and accuracy. I also think someone like Zeus's could be nice, although take this with a pinch of salt, because if we look at Raven Pyros' website, go check it out, nice site, we actually have 2 passives for Zeus on there, so this might be changing. No one really knows, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. Weight of the Scales, Anubis's, granting him turn meter when he defeats someone. He's getting obviously a ton of extra turns, so it might not be as good as I thought in my head, but potentially another nice one. And Pangus is another one that I like because of the nature of it. If the hero has more initiative than speed, attacks still 5% turn meter. This is great, especially if you're getting lots and lots of extra turns, because you're stealing turn meter, boosting your ultimate meter up, and yeah, I think this could snowball and is a very nice passive to go on Odin. Aphrodite is another great one. Allies gain 1% turn meter when inflicting damage to an enemy. We're going to be doing it lots and lots and lots. Okay, you're not necessarily going to get this benefit down the bottom here, but still gaining 1%, you're getting 30 divinity as a result of that, which is very nice. And then finishing it up with 2 other potential options. I do like Maria Marevna's, just gaining a damage buff, or a damage increase for each buff that you have is just very nice. And one that's kind of thematical is Shinigami's. Instantly defeat an enemy if they have less than 5% HP after attacking. So your basic says if you kill them, you get an extra turn. I don't know whether this will trigger it as well, but if it does, fabulous. It's just giving you more opportunity to take more turns. But also it fits in with Ragnarok. If you can't quite kill them with Ragnarok, but you do enough damage to get them low, this might finish them off. So yeah, those are some imprints that I enjoy. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump into the cabins, give Odin a spin and see what he's all about. So we've boosted turn meter twice, and it appears that Odin is not gaining any. Right, so that is fine. Something to bear in mind though. So hunting party here now. Ooh, smacking, right, and here's something to bear in mind. So you saw a heal for 14,000 there from the Avenger set. That is 15% of the damage we dealt. So if I get the calculator out on my phone very quickly. So 14,500 divided by 0.15 gives us 96k. That's a 96k hit. Ouch. Here we go. Basic attack, 4,000. So not quite as big as the core. Ooh, wait, it does look like it hits though. I mean, what's 4,000? I mean, that's still a 25k hit even on the basic. So yeah, pretty impressive. Prepare to hide the UI. Bang. So that is Odin doing respectable damage numbers, as you can see. His core seems okay when built the way that we have him. Basic attack maybe could do with some tweaking to make the most of that extra turn stuff. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and look after yourselves. Work hard, but as always, play harder. And I will see you in another one soon. Cheers.